Hello, and thank you for joining me again on my A to Z of EFT mini video series. Today we're going to be talking about the letter K for kinesiology. Now, kinesiology is otherwise known as muscle testing, so you may have heard that term or be familiar with that. Now, muscle testing has been around for an awful long time, and I myself am a trained kinesiologist in the modalities of touch for health, systematic kinesiology, and also Kinergetics, which is an energy-based form of kinesiology. Now, kinesiology can be used for many different things. It is a modality in its own right, and it was around initially at the beginning of EFT. And that is actually one of the reasons why I looked at kinesiology, because I wanted to be a much better EFT practitioner. Now, I got a little carried away with it, as you heard, and did a number of different modalities because it's such a brilliant modality in itself. Now, in this instance with EFT, the way that I use it is to check whether we are actually working with the right thing, whether your body wants you to work with that, your subconscious wants you to work with that. And again, that's done by muscle testing. So to muscle test, there are many ways to do it, but imagine that you put your arm in a particular way. I'll just put my hand like this so you can see in the video, but imagine your arm is outstretched, and you challenge the body, you challenge the muscle by gently pressing down. And depending on how it responds, then that will give you the answer of yes or no, effectively. And I work with it by finding out, again, if it's the right thing to work with, but also at what age something may have happened, what emotion was involved with that. We can go back and look at what was it pre-birth, was it past life, and many other different questions that can come up within an EFT session. There have been clients I've been working with where they couldn't figure out what the emotion was. They couldn't figure out what it was that caused the event. So they just knew that they had this anger inside their body, but had no idea which event caused it. And so through kinesiology, I was able to do some muscle testing, and we were able to get back to the age that this occurred. And even though the client couldn't actually remember the actual event, there was something around that triggered inside of him that we were able to work with and able to clear the issue. So it can be very effective when using with EFT. Now, there are ways that you can actually muscle test for yourself, and one of the main ways is with your hands. You make a circle with your thumb and index finger. You make a circle with the other one, but you join in the circle here. So hopefully that's clear for you. And you pull as you ask the question. So I'll try and keep my hands down a little bit lower. So as you ask the question, you pull. So if I were to say, is my name Debbie? One of them is solid, and the one that I'm pulling on will open and become loose. So is my name Debbie? That's a yes answer. If I say, is my name Jonathan? Then however hard I pull, it's not going to come through. So that's one way to do it. So you can actually try this for yourself by asking questions. Did this happen before the age of 25? And pull on that. Did this happen before the age of 10? And pull and see what happens. And that will give you an indication of where to start looking when you're actually trying to find out these events for yourself, or even with a practitioner. But again, be mindful of working on some of the things for yourself, so you don't trigger yourself too much. So that's always a key thing to be mindful of when working with EFT on yourself, for yourself. But practitioners themselves, or if you're with a practitioner, you can actually use this technique with muscle testing. So again, kinesiology is It can be a yes or no answer very crudely within EFT, and it can be very powerful. It's not used in all instances, in all situations. I do use it as and when needed. It's just one of the many blending tools that I particularly work with. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about kinesiology muscle testing, and I look forward to bringing you the next video again tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.